We're live, Joe. Hit it. Hit it. Hello, welcome to another exciting edition of the Friday Nooner. Yeah, hopefully you don't overpromise. I'm Pete McIntyre, the managing editor of GrepBeat. With me, as always, the Godfather himself, Joe Colopy. Joe, how are you? I can't hear you, Joe. You're muted. You got to unmute yourself. Act like it's not your first Nooner. You know what I'm saying? Act like you've been here before.
Well, it's all about these AirPods and trying then to get sync. I have all these Apple devices and they're connecting with things. And so it's
first world problems. Yes. Okay. And of course, anyone has any we already have an early comment, and I think I know why this person chimed in. So let me put it on. So you have a comment from Wade Minter. Do you know Wade? You know Wade?
Yes. Well, we are going to make this a very exciting dual boot sponsored, dual boot host. But we have future things they are sponsoring with later on the show, Tina joining us. And so we look forward to that.
I can see her back there. She's hot and she's in the green room.
Our virtual green room. So I do not want to disappoint Wade. That is really my only priority for the show.
So Wade, I don't know his title there, but he's sort of the head tech guy for dual boot here, but some of them might know him from his night job, I guess. He is the PA announcer for the Hurricanes. Did you know that?
I did know that. But we're going to spend lots of
in GrepBeat because we had a Q&A with Wade.
You know what? I was very complimentary of Wade, and then he starts throwing this kind of stuff up. And so I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. We're going to see how it goes, Wade. I feel like we're a little on the out.
He makes a fair point. It's just
okay. All right, that's fine. All right,
it's fair. All right. But did anything happen this week? Maybe to one of your former, I was going to say employer, but I guess that doesn't qualify in this case.
I think where you're going. So one of the notes we had earlier in the week was related to me. Was Oracle had announced that they're going to end of life the Bronto product. So next year. So as you know, 4 or 5 years ago, Bronto was acquired by NetSuite, which was then subsequently acquired by Oracle. So by the transitive property of mathematics, Bronto became part of Oracle. And
just to back up though, for the small percentage perhaps of our listeners, because we're global now, who might not know your connection to Bronto.
We've always been global.
Right, but we're even more global. That people are actually listening over the world who may not know what your role is. So you were the co-founder, I guess, technically.
Co-founder.
Founder, right, and CEO, longtime CEO.
Co-founder, CEO of Bronto. And I used to work with Christina, who's wishing us a very kind of happy birthday. And to just take a quick break from our little Bronto story, she thinks highly of Wade. So, whatever, that's one in Wade's camp. We're going to see.
Right,
Wade's
it's a check mark for Wade.
And then apparently... So Kevin's throwing out some ideas for Tina, maybe Wade, some trivia question benefits. But
I did not come up with a trivia question. So let's just put that out there. It's been a busy morning here at GrepBeat World Headquarters.
It has.
So, no trivia question. Though Kevin won last week, though there's some dispute.
We will get into the dispute, and it's very controversial. But coming back to Bronto, which Christina thinks is wonderful, and it did have wonderful people. So the thing is when you sell your company, you're selling your company. And when I sold it to NetSuite, the vision for NetSuite, and they're a SaaS-based ERP company, they're going to build the second chapter related. Yeah, it stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. It basically is run your business behind the scenes. Oh, I'm sure they appreciate that.
Actually, I only sort of knew 50%.
Anyways, when NetSuite was acquired by Bronto, NetSuite was acquired by Oracle, Bronto got kind of lost in the shuffle. And then over the years, a lot of the people and the processes had been well weaved into NetSuite and Oracle. So Oracle's now making the final announcement. It's like, hey, we are no longer going to support the product, the code base, because we've kind of already abstracted everything we need from it. And they're going to discontinue it. They give people a little more than a year notice next year. So it was an opportunity to kind of rally the troops and share that bit of news and a bit of sadness and kind of reflect back on all the good times at Bronto.
Did they give you a heads up, like out of courtesy?
Oh, no. Once you sell,
I didn't think so.
If you're not working there, you don't get anything.
Okay. Well, let's talk though about the tendrils of Bronto. So is it diaspora? Would that be the right word? I mean, besides everyone probably that I can see.
I'm guessing you did much better on your verbal SAT than me, and you're using diaspora and tendrils and all those fancy words.
I mean, do you want to put the scores on the table? I'm fine doing that. Okay.
All right. I don't want to put the scores on the table. So I don't even know what that means, nor do I care.
That was the numbers. I don't even know the verbal score.
It
didn't start with an 8.
Verbally?
Okay. Well, I could say it, but I didn't want to. Anyway, so the Seguno guys, right? Chris Geis and Mark Bombeck. We're trying to think of other startup-y, Eric Boggs, Rev Boss.
Yeah.
Right.
So some of them Christina. Are a little bit in the past. So Eric Boggs, he and Adam Gavati went on to go do Argyle Social.
Oh, right.
And then later on, then Adam went over to Bandwidth, and I think he's a VP of engineering over there. And Eric went to go start Rev Boss, and then Matt Williamson, who was our head of sales for really from $1 to $2 million to about $10 million. He went off with Brad McGinnity and a few other people, not from Bronto, Brad, to start Windsor Circle.
I did not know that Brad was there. So Brad is now.
Yeah. So Brad was essentially Matt's top sales guy on his team. Mm. And then Brad went off to lead sales at 15.5, and there are in fact a number of Brontos are 15.5, which is based, I think, in Silicon Valley, but they have their sales office, a large office here, and so that has to do with people engagement. And then Matt led Windsor Circle, was eventually acquired by OCG, and then he rolled off of that, and then he rolled into a chief revenue officer position for a company called SalesPad up in Michigan, building operations here, and now I think he's figuring out his next step. So I think, and then of course,
all right.
Yeah. Well, let me get Chris Geis and Mark Bombach. They worked together at Bronto. Chris on the product management side and Mark on the engineering side. And then a few years ago, they left to start Seguno, which was email marketing embedded within the Shopify platform. And I actually work very closely with them in that. And so they're doing great. They've got I
used to share an office. I used to sit just feet.
We used to share offices. They very little capital infusion. They have probably close to, over $1 million in revenue.
Where are they physically?
I think they've all been working virtually during COVID. So, and then of course, Kevin Mosley, who is doing financial planning over at Bronto. He's my partner in Jurassic Partner. It's kind of a emerging growth equity fund. And then Carolyn Sperano and Susan Wall. And they were on the leadership at Bronto. They're now leaders over at Corvus, which is also another Jurassic investment, B2B e-commerce. So there's more, obviously, but that gives you an idea of.
Someone wants to cross me.
Melissa, there's Melissa, of course. That is.
Who's Coley? Was that her maiden name or something?
I'm guessing. Yeah. So she's a lot of people don't know this, but she's from famous Chattanooga. As a youthful person, I believe used to go by Missy. So I'm sure I will get death threats because of that comment right there. So Melissa
Chattanooga?
and Christina.
Chattanooga famous?
Oh yeah. No, they have a big sign when you enter Chattanooga. It's like birthplace.
I mean, they got the train, right? The choo-choo.
Yeah, I guess.
I've been there. I've been there.
For that. Okay, good. I think they have boardwalks. It's very, very beautiful.
Okay.
So,
I'm sure.
So, nice, anyways, so Melissa and Christina used to work together at Bronto, and now they've gone off, and they're continuing to do amazing recruiting things as well. So, and Melissa's over at Kaleido. So, yes,
I have a question now. I mean, I know we talk a lot about naming companies. Now, looking back, I mean, you named it after something that's extinct. So it wasn't the writing on the wall, like from the beginning. It was only a matter of time. It had a good run, as the dinosaurs did, in fairness. But isn't that like, you're kind of calling your shot? If it's
so, I started the company almost 20 years ago. So I don't think early extinction startup world.
I didn't say early extinction, but like eventually.
Well, it was also mislabeled too. There was no such thing as a brontosaurus because when they had a race for discovery and they put the wrong head on the wrong body, and it later got discredited. Although they later found a new dinosaur they named it after because they felt
hold on. So you're saying there's not even a brontosaurus dinosaur?
No. When we were growing up, they thought it was. Look it up. No, it's not breaking. It's like 30-year-old news. In fact, I found out about this after starting.
Millennia
and my 9-year-old niece told me that. 9-year-old niece knows everything about that.
There's no brontosaurus?
There was, then there wasn't for many decades.
Is this like Pluto being a planet and now it's not? Like what?
No, yeah, it sort of is because they thought Pluto was a planet, but then it got downgraded. It's like, no, it never really was a planet. And the same thing with Bronto. They're like, that was never a unique species. You just put the wrong head on the wrong body. And
Who's you? I mean, who put the
paleontologists back in the day? Okay. This is when it was a big thing. Like back in the day, they didn't have Facebook or Snapchat or TikTok, so they ran around looking for dinosaur bones. That's what they did. It was very exciting.
So is the Brontosaurus actually something else, or there wasn't a Brontosaurus?
Whoa, time out. I think Wade's got some news about Pluto.
We're all over Pluto. We were way ahead of him. We know it's not a planet.
No, it's back to being a planet, I think.
Oh, it was a
planet.
When?
Then they downgraded it as a rock, and then I think it's back to being a planet. No, a dwarf planet, but still a planet nevertheless. I believe so. I could be wrong. Wade and I might have to go back and forth on this. I'm sure we could just look it up too, but that's too much work.
No Googling during the show. You just have to.
Trust me. I can't juggle that much. But what else do we have? So clearly Bronto. There's a lot of lessons learned. I think there were some great articles written in the TBJ, WRL, where I was able to kind of share some of those views.
There was something in Grepbeat I saw in their newsletter. So
in the newsletter, of course,
media
that was the
organizations. It was like number 3. I wouldn't say it was number 1, but
you do.
We put our own stories at the top. We got our own horn.
There we go.
Okay, but there was some news. You shared a story with me the other day, which I didn't 100% understand all the implications. When you say, so is what Google's saying that they're going to stop selling ads based on your web browsing? They're not going to let you track, or they're not going to track if you're on Chrome, all the sites you go to? Is that sort of the headline version?
That's a big issue. Obviously, it was set a few weeks ago with Apple getting in with Facebook saying we're going to kind of ask users or essentially block that. And then
from
Google
knowing where they are, right?
Yeah, it's the ads that follow you. It's not about having ads in general. It's not about having ads even from Google at Google AdWords. And it's not about having ads that would stay within Google. So Google knows you search for this. And so when you're back to Google, it feeds that in. It's about ads. So when I go to some random website, like the other day,
you go to Walmart. You go to Walmart.com.
Yeah, I go to Walmart, or I was at Home Depot the other day. I was buying this industrial fan to clean
That's
up.
another discussion. We'll
That is another discussion. It's because I have an old British car that leaves exhaust in the garage, and
Is
maybe
there
always
a
makes
bug
car
thing?
It's called a bug eye. It's a nickname for Austin Healey Sprite. For those of you who don't in the know, it's nicknamed Frog Eye in the UK. The more you know. Anyways, yeah. So it's as if I went to go look for that fan on a completely different website, and then I come back somewhere else on Instagram, and it's featuring fans all day long. Or, it's just that kind of stuff. And in fact, that's exactly what did happen. I saw on Instagram all these ads about industrial fans. I'm like, why is that? And the reason they do that is to make the ads more targeted.
Sure.
But it also has a lot of privacy questions. And so Google is saying we're no longer going to support that. There's a trend where browsers in the future are not going to allow that as much. And Facebook just loses from that. And a lot of ad tech
Facebook is very upset about that. And
they're
I would
very
say
upset.
someone who did from the other side at the startup I was co-founder of, we did almost all our ads were Facebook and Instagram because they give you so much targeting ability. I mean, that's what people are paying for. So that's why Facebook is very upset.
The advertising's still there. It's the accuracy of the advertising which will be hurt. And so that will make your ad buys less effective. And that will, as a startup, and that will also mean they won't be able to charge as much. So it's a win for consumers, but specific ad tech companies could be hurt, but it really matters, right? The details. And so if I was looking at investing or joining any ad tech company, I'd really want to understand those issues really well to understand, is this going to be the death knell for this company? No, another good SAT word. Or is it actually going to help them because everyone's going to flock to their technology because these other avenues are no longer available? So interesting.
We are working on a story, one of our writers, and was trying to talk to some local folks, and I won't name them, but there are some folks who did not want to be on the record touching this.
It's a hot topic. It's a real big issue with all things ad tech, and it could dramatically affect the fortunes of those businesses in both ways. We might blow this
thing wide open, though. And this is not generally what
this is what we do.
Trying to mess.
This is what we do in
there was also a story this week on TBJ on sort of tracking how a lot of the investors in this area, the funds, are raising money. As one might expect, there is a lot of cash on the sideline these days, despite our very strange and narrowly targeted recession. But I thought that was interesting, and I guess I should have asked you this before. But and you can say you'd rather not talk about it, but is Jurassic ever thinking about raising money, a fund?
Yeah, actually. So I'm not very good about being quiet about things. One of the things we're considering.
I'm giving you the chance to not talk about this. If you'd like.
No comment.
All right.
No, I mean, one of the things we're looking at is, does it make sense for Jurassic to be take outside money into a fund and going down that track as a growth equity fund based out of the triangle covering the Southeast? And so, maybe a step below the Frontiers and the Vistas and all the other bigger private equity funds. And so, because the market's so interesting and we can really help companies. So that is something we're really looking at, and we'll see. We have to kind of assess it, but it's very possible in the next 3, 6, 9 months, you'll have that maybe as a bullet point on the Gret Pete newsletter. I don't know if we'll get above 3, maybe a 2. I hope.
I mean, you can talk to, we'll see. Okay. We'll come back to that. What will the minimum be? Because I might talk to some people. But, I mean, just for me personally, is there a Gret Pete like discount, like a Colopy Ventures employee discount?
For you, Pete, I'll do what I can.
Yeah, I will not be helping your fund in a material way.
Moral support. That's what we look for.
Yeah, moral support. It is now 12:20, which means
let's do it.
It's time to bring in our guest. Wait, I need to.
Time.
Okay, I've added her. Here's our guest, Tina Cochrane of Dual Boot.
Hey, Tina.
Hey guys, how are you? It's nice to see you.
Very good. Welcome. So we're even though we've now done this a few times, it's
With
as
guests.
if we haven't. Well, I'm just in
Every
general.
time it's like the first time. With,
Every time
you
it's a
didn't have
new
your headphones.
adventure. Yeah. But welcome, and we're excited to have you. And I don't know, Pete, how do we do this?
Well, how do we do this? What do you mean? How do we do this?
I told you,
Okay,
we're
so-
amateur. It's an amateur hour.
Well, don't pull me into your amateur. I'm a professional broadcaster. I get paid.
Okay.
There's a salary. Okay, so Dual Boot, headquartered in Charlotte, dev shop, but now a Raleigh office. What has the past year or so? Well, when did you and Wade open that?
Yeah, so let me say one thing to the Bronto story first. So
Okay.
I have to tell you that my household was very sad to see that news because Bronto is iconic in my household. I could not go to a conference without bringing home my Bronto dinosaur, or my children were not happy with me. So it was a sad day when I read that. But you know,
do you want a giant neon dinosaur? Because there's one downstairs. It's like a couple of feet.
The little ones are really, really great, like in the tub, right? They float, they bounce well. You know, kids can put them in with, like, especially little kids. I mean, you could put it, Pete, you could take one in your tub. All I know. But I'm saying with little kids.
I don't take a lot of baths, but okay.
they make great weapons too. I have you know.
So, weapons. Okay, weapons. That works. Whatever. So just to come back to this real quick, Pete. So you don't take a lot of baths, but you do. You take showers then, right?
Yes. Yeah. I'm a shower.
Okay. Just want to.
I have a bathtub, but yeah, wow. I'm not like just laying in it, like, you know.
Awesome. And so back to your question, Pete. Yes, we are headquartered in Charlotte, and we opened the Raleigh office last year in January with Wade and I. So we were the first two.
Okay.
I think to 5 in this.
Oh, Darren Smith, I know, right?
Yep, Darren. You may know Jeff Lindsay. He's
I did not. Did he work at Bronto?
He did not.
No. Well, then, you know, that good.
Right? So we have Brooke as well. She's on our operations team. So we're moving right along here. We're like a legit show, all on our own.
A beloved Grep Beat sponsor, right? And will also be the sponsor of the inaugural Greppy Awards. That's right?
Yes.
April 22nd.
I should get a cup after this, right? I get a mug?
No. That's the mugs are only for winning Where's Pete. But speaking, well, we can talk about the mug. That's true. You guys are supporters.
Come on, hook me up, right? I need a mug.
But speaking of Where's Pete and the mugs, we're going to start next week. We're going to do a March Madness of past Where's Pete coffee shops. So it's going to be a bracket of 32 because we actually only got to like 38 before we had to go to. There was a pandemic. I mean, it was in like all the papers.
I'm not heard about that, really.
Right, so we had to stop being inside coffee shops, and I haven't even gotten a chance to use the many pictures that I banked in the coffee shops. It's been sad. So went outside restaurants. At any rate, there's going to be four brackets: a downtown Durham bracket, a downtown Raleigh bracket, a Killer C's bracket, which is Chapel Hill, Harbo, and Cary. And then there's one that's the Burbs and NC State. You have to be creative. You know, when we live in a triangle, making it into 4 regions, there's going to be some flexibility in moving things around. So people should look for that.
Yes, that's exciting. And
people can vote.
Through that, I don't know, but I think Melissa properly says, you know, you have to earn the mugs. You don't just get them.
Oh, yeah.
Melissa, I earned it when I was at Bronto. When I was at Bronto. I'm
gonna actually look up. So Melissa won a mug for the week of June 29th when she correctly identified my location as the Shiny Diner in Raleigh. And then, even after being correct, then had to emerge successfully from the feared random number generator, which lately has been turning up all Riot people.
Wow.
Riot people have now 5 Riot employees, including 2 weeks ago. They're very avid players. They're important members of the Triangle Tech community.
So
And they all have mugs.
Sounds like
it's
rigged.
Before we
I mean,
run
look,
into,
it's random.
before we roll into like trivia and all those other kind of things.
We don't have
Tina,
trivia. I said up top, I got no trivia.
Oh, I forgot that. So Tina, so, just because we work with a lot of startups and we speak that message. So what is the profile story of folks who go to really get the most out of Dual Boot?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good question. So we work with a lot of startups, from 2 men in a garage to, the Pintos of the world, right? So we build great software. We do the MVPs. We actually work with larger companies on legacy systems and replatforms.
Yep.
So we can, come in and pretty much help on any software need. So on the StaffHog side, we can help them if they can't find what they need or they need something that's a little more cost effective. We can push that through their system for them. We can also do DevOps and cloud migrations, which are huge right now and extremely hard to hire for in this market.
And so you guys can, and then locally, so if I were to have a project, would I have to use Wade or could I vote? Because Wade and I are on the out right now because of this whole Pluto thing. I just want to know, do I have to use them?
No, you definitely don't have to use Wade. We have lots of Wades, but not quite Wade caliber. So
there's the Wade. There's a lot of Wades.
There's only one Wade. They broke the mold.
Got it.
Do any of the others do PA for professional sports franchises? Because that's what I look for when I'm looking for a top developer. Like, we don't have sports? That. No. Okay.
We have a couple of ex-professional sports players, though. So you may
really
not. Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, we've got NHL. We've got somebody from soccer. So yeah, I mean we're pulling.
Wait. Are they working here? Are they in Charlotte? What are they doing? What's their roles for that?
Not local. So one in Colorado, one in Michigan. So yeah.
And what do they do? Are they devs or are they like people?
Do you know Corey Elkins? He's on our biz dev team. So he's in Michigan, and yeah, so he's pretty cool. John Boa, if you know that name, he used to actually be North Carolinian, and now he's in the Colorado market. So he's a former soccer player. So
wow,
I'm sure he still kicks it around a lot.
So Pete, I'm just going to jump out here and say probably being head of IT or tech might not be, if you're choosing your vendors, I think you should choose Dual Boot because they really know what they're talking about. Good people, not necessarily
professional sports.
I mean, that's a plus.
It's just not what bonus, right?
It's just added bonus.
Yeah, we're just cool to work with, and we're great at what we do. So
and Todd Blue, is that what he says his pronunciation? Bulow. Okay, he was a subject of in Grepbeat of the Meet Q&A. Yes, and it actually did very well. He must have shared it widely. So we're big fans of Todd as well. So people can read all about Dual Boot in Grepbeat.
There we go.
Yeah.
So Tina, put you on the spot. What is some random life lesson or something on the news that you learned that has nothing to do with technology or anything, if you want, that you could share with us?
All time or like a recent one?
We're not going to really fact check. So.
Random that I've learned. The pandemic is not good for your children's psychological, emotional status.
Yeah, that's something we kind of live all day.
And being a parent requires you to now turn into a therapist. So that I learned that lesson personally.
Yeah. Are your kids in online school or are they in person at all? Or
no, we are in person. We've been in person full time. So we're private school. We've been very fortunate from that regard. But there's been multiple meltdowns over, lost events, lost friends, lost, everything. So
yeah.
How are you guys on the playing with other kids? Is that sort of to let them sort of go at some point, basically?
We have 1 or 2 friends per kid that they're allowed to hang out with. We have a child with an immune disorder, so we kind of keep it a little bit strict. But for sanity reasons, we had to release it a little bit. It was just, they were driving us crazy and themselves crazy. And I thought they were going to kill the dog because they were dressing the dog up and, throwing it off stairs, beating it with Brontos. I mean, it was crazy.
Beating dogs with Brontos.
I can't
That's
be
like a
tied.
whole charge in the criminal
There's a
statute.
lot going on over here, guys.
Yeah,
There's a lot.
sounds like a crazy house. Well, hang in there, right?
Assault
I think
with a Bronto weapon. Isn't that
Yeah.
the official
Maybe
name?
I
of that?
should keep
Right.
the Gret beat mugs out of the house. They might hurt a little more than the Brontos.
you know what I want to scan. If I think one of the future swag things, and people always find this disturbing, but I got this thing, and for Jurassic, I want to get like branded switch knives.
No.
They're actually branded box cutters. They're really cool. We could just like say something like invest or grow or something. But I'm afraid it might send the wrong message.
You're afraid that giving people knives might send the wrong
I
message?
don't want them to bring it home to their kids. Bronto was very good because people would take it home to their kids. But if I hand out branded switchblade box cutters, I think I'm going to undercut that market, and it's going to end up.
You're now only having second thoughts that maybe it's not the right decision. How'd you get past
I'm
that
on the
first
fence.
thought, though?
No, I'm on the fence. It could go either way.
Just on the
I don't
fence.
know.
All right. I don't think it's a good idea, but you didn't actually
You
ask
can
my.
brand it with better invest, better invest.
Cut through the crap or something like that.
See, now this is a good. See, now Wade, he can probably just
like
give
that.
that to you. That's a good.
That's-
Work with that,
I don't
so Will
believe
Shank
I don't
someone.
believe
I don't-
he didn't
I don't
trademark
think
it.
it's just
So
like
here we
Will
go. I'll show
Shank
you.
someone. It's like Will Shank you. Like make it
Yeah.
more personal.
Well, I told Pete
Appeal.
we need to bring slingshots, right? So we can slingshot it.
Yeah,
There we go. Hey, so Pete, I think we're above
we're
time
over.
a little bit.
Yeah, we're over.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so exciting that people won't begrudge us the extra 2 minutes, but I think it's now time to say goodbye. Tina, thank you for joining
Thanks,
us.
guys. All right, bye.
There we go. All right.
Joe, yeah, I can actually see you from here, so I'm not sure why I'm waving. But everyone, of course, should subscribe to the Gret Beat newsletter every Tuesday and Thursday, and come back and listen and watch us next week. Joe, hit the outro. That's it.